So I understand like Bible Club is today. We just got this in, right? This is a just brand new broadcast thing, right? So we need to tell them that Bible Club is today at lunch in 10-1.
10-1.
I think there's some other clubs that meet on Tuesdays at lunchtime. I think like anime is in Miss Wu's room during lunch. I don't know. Okay. Anyway. Oh, hey, here we go. Honor Roll gets celebrated. Enrichment is taking sign-ups, and the Falcons go to court against the colonists. Live from the New Media Studio, obviously, here at beautiful Valley High School, this is Falcon Flash. And good morning, students and staff. Today is Tuesday, October 2nd, and today's Patriotic Observance honors an American author that most, if not all of you, have read and enjoyed. John Steinbeck was a Nobel and Pulitzer Prize-winning American novelist and the author of Mice and Men, The Grapes of Wrath, and East of Eden. Steinbeck dropped out of college and worked as a manual laborer before achieving success as a writer. His works often dealt with social and economic issues, and his 1939 novel, The Grapes of Wrath, about the migration of a family from the Oklahoma Dust Bowl to California, won a Pulitzer Prize and a National Book Award. Widely considered Steinbeck's finest and most ambitious novel, this book tells the story of a dispossessed Oklahoma family and their struggle to carve out a new life in California at the height of the Great Depression. The book captured the mood and the angst of the nation during this time period. At the height of its popularity, The Grapes of Wrath sold at a whopping 10,000 copies per week. It was the 1930s, and it was the Depression, so go with it. John Steinbeck wrote 31 books over the course of his career, and he died of heart disease on December 20th, 1968, at his home in New York City. We're going to take a look at a short video about his life and his authorship. So let's go to the video.
Winner of the Nobel Prize in 1962, John Steinbeck gave voice to working-class America.
He writes about people we're not familiar with, but he makes them relatable to a general audience. In spite of the fact that he's writing about hobos and tramps and Okies and other people such as that, he manages to stress the universal condition that we all share.
John Ernst Steinbeck was born on February 27, 1902, in Salinas, California, a region that would later be the setting for many of his most famous works.
Steinbeck reflected California through the people and the landscape and the history. Not only was he a wonderful writer, but he was a great student of his own home.
Steinbeck enrolled in Stanford University in 1919, but eventually dropped out. He continued to write, but for years was simply scraping by, until 1935, when he would receive his first critical success.
Tortilla Flat was a huge bestseller. No one expected it. It sold 26,000 copies in its first year, which was astonishing during the middle of the Depression. It came out in 1935. This is a beautiful story about a gang of winos living in a rundown house in California just after World War I.
In 1937, Steinbeck's novella of Mice and Men became an immediate bestseller, and its play adaptation won him the New York Drama Critics Circle Award.
What he wanted to do was to write something called a play novelette. He was playing with a new form of writing. He wanted the story to be lifted from the book onto the stage. He wanted it played. He wanted it performed.
I think what appealed to readers about Mice and Men was the fact that it dealt realistically with the grim situation of the Depression and the inability of people to find work. But it also struck an emotional chord with readers because in spite of all that, there's this very strong friendship between George and Lenny, and that seems to compensate for what they don't have in their lives.
Steinbeck reported on migrant farm workers for the San Francisco Chronicle in 1939, providing the basis for his Pulitzer Prize-winning work, The Grapes of Wrath.
The Grapes of Wrath was an immediate bestseller when it came out and remained on the bestseller list for more than a year.
It set a lot of things in motion. Not only is this a story about the Jodes, but the story about a lot of people. It put a face on the harsh truths that were occurring at the time in this country.
In 1940, the screen version of The Grapes of Wrath became one of the first 25 films selected for preservation by the Library of Congress.
It's rare for a masterpiece to translate into a great film. The Grapes of Wrath, directed by John Ford, is a masterpiece in cinema history. The timing is perfect, the setting, the lighting, the characters.
Steinbeck died following a heart attack on December 20th, 1968, but left a legacy of 27 books.
Steinbeck had a huge, productive decade. Over a 10-year period, he produced half a dozen of America's great masterpieces in fiction.
I got to read The Grapes of Wrath when I was in high school. Gabby, you ever read The Grapes of Wrath?
No, but I've read of Mice and Men.
Mice and Men, that's another good one. What'd you think of that?
It was kind of sad.
Well, okay.
Yeah.
I'll go with that. Well, so is Grapes of Wrath. I guess they're all kind of sad, huh? Anyway, if you haven't read any Steinbeck, check that out. And the movie Grapes of Wrath, good stuff. All right, I see that Gabby is with us here at the desk, as she has been all morning so far, and she's going to provide us with some insight as to what's happening at Valley.
Hi, good morning, Falcons. Here's today's Falcon Flash. Girls volleyball and tennis take on the Colonists of Anaheim High School today on our very own courts. Come out and support the girls as they bring home a win for the Falcons. Good luck, ladies. Tonight, we honor our honor roll students with a special ceremony beginning at 5. Families are invited to join the celebration, which will be held at the Carr Auditorium located on Edinger. Tomorrow is our monthly early release, so our staff can meet after lunch. School will end and lunch will be served at 12:26 p.m. Next Wednesday, we will be providing a free opportunity for all seniors to take the SAT during the school day and all juniors, sophomores, and freshmen to take the PSAT. We will be on a special bell schedule all day for the underclassmen. This includes a time where you can select an enrichment session for a fun activity of your choosing. You can learn yoga, sing karaoke, play basketball, or get help with classwork. Look for the sign up on the Google Classroom on your Falcon Flash.
And that's it for today's Falcon Flash. And remember,
Falcon Fever, catch it!